Welcome to the Explainer. You know that feeling, right? You're a product manager, your dashboards are full of charts that are going up and to the right, but you still have this nagging suspicion that you're not actually measuring what matters. Well, today, we're going to cut through all that noise and find the one metric that can genuinely guide your product to success.
So, here's what we're going to cover. First, we'll talk about the trap of feel-good metrics that can lead you completely astray. Then, we're going to find our direction with something called the North Star metric. After that, we'll back it up with a really powerful diagnostic tool called the HAVI framework. And finally, we'll wrap it all up with a solid action plan you can start using, like today.
All right, first up, let's dive into a trap that is just so easy to fall into. I don't care how experienced you are, it's the siren song of vanity.
Seriously, ask yourself this. It's probably the most important question a PM can ask. Because the very metrics you might be celebrating in your team meetings could be doing more than just misleading you. They could be actively lying about the health of your product. And this is really the heart of the problem. A vanity metric, like total downloads or page views, it looks amazing in a slide deck. The line goes up. But here's the thing, it doesn't actually help you make better decisions. Hitting 100,000 downloads feels incredible, but if 95,000 of those people opened your app exactly once and then never came back, well, that's not a success story. That's a leaky bucket.
Okay, so if vanity metrics are the problem, what's the answer? How do we find a real signal in all that noise? Well, the solution is to look up and find a guide.
This is the big idea, a single, powerful metric. We call it your North Star metric, or NSM for short. What it does is it gives your entire team one shared goal to rally around. It totally shifts the conversation away from, hey, how many clicks did we get, and focuses everybody on the only thing that really matters. How much value did we actually create for our users?
Now, what's so cool about a good North Star metric is that it's kind of counterintuitive. It puts customer success before direct business goals. And the logic there is actually super simple. If you can prove that your users are getting massive value, that becomes an incredible leading indicator for things like retention and revenue. But, and this is key, it has to be something your team can actually move the needle on with their work. And this just shows you, right? A North Star is not a one-size-fits-all thing. It totally depends on your business model. For a marketplace like Airbnb, it's all about consumption. How many nights get booked? For a platform like Facebook that's driven by ads, it's about engagement. How many people are showing up every single day? And for a subscription service like Spotify, it's about consumption again. How many hours are people listening? Your metric has to be a mirror of how your product actually creates value. But here's the catch, a North Star metric can't stand alone. It tells you what's happening, but it doesn't tell you why. For that, you need a support system. You need to get heavy. And that's where the HAVI framework comes in. It's a great acronym that stands for happiness, engagement, accuracy, value, and yikes. I want you to think of this as a complete health dashboard for your product. It makes sure that your laser focus on the North Star doesn't accidentally cause problems somewhere else. So first up, H is for happiness. This is your qualitative gut check. Are people actually enjoying the experience? It goes way beyond just, does the button work? You can track this with things like CSAT or Net Promoter Score. Believe me, if your North Star is going up, but your happiness scores are tanking, that is a huge red flag. Next, we've got E for engagement. Are your users building habits? And listen, this is not just about daily active users. It's about how deeply they're using the core features that create value. For a project management tool, maybe it's the number of tasks they create each week. It's all about meaningful actions.
A is for accuracy. And this one, well, it's non-negotiable for any product that deals with data or recommendations. I mean, think about a banking app that gets your balance wrong, or a map that gives you bad directions. One little failure there can destroy user trust forever. This metric is all about your product's reliability.
V stands for value. This is the bottom line. It's the so what. How does all this product success actually translate into business impact? It could be direct, like revenue from a new feature, or it could be indirect, like saving money by reducing support tickets. This is the metric that connects that user's aha moment right to the company's balance sheet. And finally, my personal favorite, Y is for yikes. These are your guardrail metrics. As you're pushing hard to improve your North Star, what could potentially break? For instance, if you run a social media platform and your North Star is time spent in the app, a really important yikes metric might be an increase in user-reported harassment. This is the metric that screams at you when your growth is starting to become unhealthy.
So, let's see how these two big ideas, the North Star metric and the heavy framework, actually work together. Because heavy isn't a replacement for your North Star, it's the scaffolding that holds the whole thing up. Let's make this super concrete with an example. Imagine you're the PM for a new app that helps employees figure out their paychecks. The goal is to make pay stubs clear, transparent, and trustworthy.
Okay, look at how beautifully this all fits together. Our North Star is the percentage of people who can solve a pay issue without having to call HR. Perfect. Now, let's say that number flatlines. We don't panic. We use our heavy dashboard to figure out why. Is the happiness score low? Maybe the tool is just confusing. Is engagement down? Maybe people aren't checking their paychecks proactively. Is our accuracy bad with wrong pay estimates? Well, no one's going to trust it then. And what about our yikes metric? Is user confusion actually going up? Uh-oh, then our solution might be part of the problem. You see, this is how you go from just tracking a number to truly understanding your product.
Okay, this all sounds great in theory, but how can you actually put it into practice? Let's walk through a simple, repeatable plan you can take back to your team.
This 5-step process is your template. It all starts with your core promise to the user. Then, you translate that promise into one North Star metric. Step 3, you build out your diagnostic dashboard using the heavy framework. 4, you connect it all to real business impact. And finally, and don't skip this, you stress test your choices. Can it be gamed? Can we even measure it? It's a powerful loop to keep you honest.
This quote really just hits the nail on the head. Your main metric isn't just some number on a screen. It is your strategy. It tells everybody on the team what winning looks like. And trust me, whatever you choose to measure is exactly what your team will optimize for. So we'll leave you with this question. Go back to your desk, pull up your dashboard, and take a hard look at your primary product metric. Is it a vanity metric that just makes you feel good? Or is it a true North Star pointing you toward real, durable user value? What story is your metric telling you about your product's future? Thanks for joining this explainer.